Hi, I'm here with Mark Simpson from Norton Rose Fulbright, good partner there. He's joined us for the blockchain hearing that we're holding here at OECD, and he's agreed to have a few words with us beforehand. Thanks very much for that, Mark.
No problem.
Can I start by just asking, it seems to us that we're looking at developments in the blockchain space, and it seems that there's a lot of consortium sort of approaches to working in this space. Do you know why that is? It's slightly unusual.
It's a good question. I mean, collaboration through consortia are a real feature of the deployment of blockchain and thinking about how blockchain can be applied to different uses, different industries. I suppose the first point to note, though, is blockchain itself and distributed ledger technology doesn't actually require as a necessary condition of its operations that there's collaboration. You can have private blockchains in use within the firm, but in terms of industry applications, collaboration is vital, and vital for two reasons. Firstly, because the very essence of what distributed ledger technology allows is the replacement of reliance on a central intermediary which arbitrates and validates transactions, and you replace that with this notion of a consensus mechanism. Now, of course, to agree how the consensus mechanism will work, you need collaboration between participants to agree the rules and then to apply the rules. And then secondly, the success of any consortia-derived application of blockchain depends on its uptake by the industry. So you need people to buy into its use, its design, and the rules that apply to it. And for that reason, to ensure that blockchain applications are fit for purpose, we need collaboration between market participants, and we see that through consortia in the beginning, to think about the application, think about the pitfalls, design the rules, and ensure that the industry can make use of it when it's deployed, and that people across the economy, across supply chains, can bank the dividend from blockchain. And for that reason, we see consortia with very large numbers of participants. I mean, R3, more than 200 participants now, which is really interesting.
And so in the issues paper, we'd sort of said, explored the idea that there might be some collusion concerns with this. Do you think that's a possibility? Is there a risk of that?
Well, there has been a lot of talk about this, and there certainly is the potential for collusion because of that very fact that we're seeing collaboration, and particularly in consortia. I wouldn't say, however, that the risks are new. I mean, what's important is the technology is new, so we need to understand the technology. And I suppose there are two types of collusion risks that need to be taken into account, that need to be thought about in these consortia. The first is at the formation stage. So that's thinking about the fact that you're bringing competitors together to collaborate. Now, anytime competitors get together, whether it be for, as in this case, what is inherently a pro-competitive market good, there's always the opportunity to perhaps discuss things which competitors shouldn't discuss around pricing and the margins. So that needs to be controlled for. Also at the formation stage, there needs to be thought around whether the actual design of the rules that apply to the blockchain initiative might exclude particular competitors in the market, whether intentionally or unintentionally. So maybe collectively boycotting someone who's already developed a particular technology, or maybe inadvertently designing rules which mean that certain participants won't be able to use it, or perhaps can't operate and compete fairly in a market downstream. So those are the sorts of collusion risks that can apply, but the truth is, competitors collaborate for many different things, for many industry goods, joint ventures, standards, all of these things have been thought about before. So it's a question of applying the same trust and tried framework case law to new scenarios, new technology that blockchain represents.
Okay, fantastic. And so thinking about what the role of competition authorities should be here, and perhaps for the firms as well, what do they need to be thinking about to sort of get ahead and...
That's a good question. Yeah, so I mean, I think firstly for regulators, the challenge is understanding what blockchain is for all of us actually. What is blockchain? Its applications, and what it isn't as well. I have seen suggestions that blockchain can be used to actually, maybe through smart contracts, to actually facilitate cartel arrangements, to actually allow the exchange of future pricing information, to monitor adherence to cartel arrangements, and therefore allow the disciplining of cartel arrangements. I have to say, I think some of those fears are a little bit fanciful, but nonetheless, they that they are theories of harm that can be explored in particular situations. So authorities need to understand the technology. They need to avoid jumping to premature conclusions and developing bad theories of harm.
Sure.
Now, if they can bring expertise within their organizations in terms of the understanding of blockchain, that will help. If they are able to be involved in dialogues like the dialogue today, that will help. Okay. The challenge for businesses is really a bit simpler. It's the same as I referred to before.
Sure.
Any collaboration that involves potential to meet with competitors, share information with competitors, design industry solutions which may potentially become a standard, they require careful thought about whether the appropriate protections are in place to prevent against spillover of and discussions about things that are perhaps outside the scope of what can be defensible, and really just making sure that those who are involved in the discussions and those who are facilitating the discussions around consortia for blockchain are aware of these risks and are properly advised.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much.